Hi, my name is Courtney Boren. I'm a graduate student at the University of West Florida. So we are on Santa Rosa Island, and we are on the sound side, and we have come across what is a midden. Midden, in this case, is a shell midden, and it's refuse. It's basically where they're eating or processing lots of oyster shells, and then piling them over here where we are on this part of the sound. Native Americans would eat lots of shellfish here. It was one of the main maritime resources, and they would discard them, and we find them today sort of in heaps, or either sometimes they're actually dug into the ground. Cool. So a sherd is part of what's left of a ceramic vessel that was handmade by mostly female potters, Native American female potters, and usually we don't find the whole pot, we just find sherds, parts that have broken off. But the cool thing about them is you can tell a lot of information, how they're making it, what kind of tempers they're using, what kind of surface treatments they're doing, what kind of designs or styles they're putting on it. And that is a lot of the times what we use to determine how old an artifact is or what we think it may date or relate to. So for my thesis, I used 6 sherds from this site and 6 sherds from the Lima settlement, which is a little bit further inland. And I dated them using a technique called blue light optically stimulated luminescence. And basically that takes the grains that are found within the sherd, which although the tempers may be different, like for example, shell tempered is one of the primary ones that I looked at. Sand is very common in our clays here in this part of Florida, so they can actually date those little quartz grains to the last time that they have been fired, generally during cooking or when they were manufactured. The dates that came back from my research showed that dated to in the 1200 range and then later on in the 1400 range, basically signifying that these female potters chose to make a very similar pottery type for at least 200 years. And that's pretty significant for when you think about generations and persistence in traditions. So some of the things we found today are definitely lots of shell refuse, a lot of oyster shell that they're eating and discarding. We did find some mammal bone, possibly deer. We've also seen some sherds. In the past, we have found dark olive green bottle glass, part of a base. So that signifies that there is definitely a historic component or either trading with historic peoples happening at this site. So in terms of what we decided to do for research out here, because the site is so dynamic, is that we used the Heritage Monitoring Scouts started by FPAN, and they have come out here to help monitor the site. We've also done some drone footage to get aerial views, laser scanner, to actually document the site to make a 3D image or a model.
My name is Jeffrey Robinson, and I'm a graduate assistant with the Florida Public Archaeology Network. Alright, so a FARO is what we call a terrestrial laser scanner. It sends a laser to a rotating mirror and basically takes all sorts of points around, similar to LiDAR, and light from the laser bounces back. It calculates, to have some sense of geometry of the object, and it rotates all around. And we do that to create a 3D model of the object, and from that object we can do all sorts of other things like calculate distance, calculate volume, all sorts of measurements. This site is Middle Middens. It's a very dynamic site that's changing rapidly, even more rapidly than other sites. Like maybe week to week or month to month, it might look totally different. And we're going to this is our first scan, and we're going to come back and use a tool called multi-scale model-to-model cloud comparison that basically allow us to sort of figure out how much has changed, where has stuff moved around, where has stuff has been lost, and we're doing that to see if we can calculate some degree of erosion at the site. The Trimble is it's basically a GPS device, no different than like the one in your phone or the one in your car. This one just has a slightly bigger antenna, and it's more expensive that way, and it can get a much better degree of accuracy. The MC32 tool I just mentioned, the better and more precise data you're able to give it, the more precise it can tell you, okay, you've lost like this amount of the surface has changed, so the better accuracy we're able to get in our initial targets, we're able to do that. The reason we have the targets, in addition to helping the register scan, it also allows us to do something called the ground control point, which is basically saying, hey, at this point it's at these coordinates in the world, so this allows us to more precisely register the multiple scans, especially over time. One of the reasons we're specifically doing this research now is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change thinks that within the next century the seas are going to rise 1 meter, and many scientists say that is far too conservative estimates and that it's often thought to be more. So hoping this sort of research will create some sort of triage system so we can figure out, okay, hey, this site is fine, this site over here is eroding really fast, we need to go out and do that site, so we can sort of prioritize which sites we need to record.